One man is dead and 3 other people are hurt after a shooting outside a funeral in D.C. You heard that correct. The service was for the victim of another deadly shooting.
Yeah, and tonight, D.C. police believe the shooter targeted the victims, but we're still working to learn why. Investigators say the gunfire started just before 1 o'clock this afternoon outside Stewart Funeral Home. And tonight, we've got 2 crews near the scene on Benning Road to bring you team coverage. Yeah, John Henry and Delia Gonzalez are covering the police investigation and community reaction. But John, we want to start with you for the latest now from police. What are they telling you?
Well, guys, we can tell you that this scene cleared about 2 hours ago, right in front of this funeral home where that shooting took place. This attracted a lot of attention here in the neighborhood with a lot of questions. Chief among them, why would anyone ever shoot at a funeral? Ray Williams was just working to keep this neighborhood looking nice.
Well, I was cleaning up in the parking lot.
That's when gunfire rang out 1 block away.
I heard about 8 shots.
For shooting at 4001 Benning Road Northeast.
In front of Stewart Funeral Home.
Yeah, I see people running down this way.
Medic 7, Medic 10, and Medic 21.
I seen the police running through the parking lot.
4 people shot.
Chief Robert Conti said it happened right in front of Stewart's Funerals, the intersection of 40th Place and Benning Northeast. A funeral had just let out around 12:17.
People were milling about when the shooting happened.
Conti said an MPD officer happened to be in the area at the request of the family inside.
Very close to where you guys are standing.
As the funeral was for 24-year-old Stefan Carroll.
Homicide victim in the latter part of March.
Still, the officer's presence was not enough to keep the peace.
Adult male is deceased. It appears that several of the people who were in the block were specifically targeted. We're unsure why that is. We're unsure why these people were targeted. More or less why they were targeted at a funeral. We don't understand that. I mean, how low can you be of a human being to target other people at a funeral? People who do these types of crimes, I mean, they need to be ultimately held accountable for their actions.
Now, there was another shooting around the same time this shooting occurred, about 5 minutes away from here in Southeast, but police tell us it does not appear that that incident was related to this one. Lorenzo?
Yeah, this is sad on so many levels. First, you're at a funeral for a young man who was killed not too long ago, and then someone else is killed at this funeral. John, thank you so much. You know, this senseless act of violence is having a huge impact on the surrounding community. Our Delia Gonzalez spent the afternoon listening to people who don't just get to hear about these events around town. They live it because it's happening in their neighborhoods. And she joins us now live with the latest. Delia, they are just ravaged yet again.
You're right. They say this happens far too often. They feel like they're living in a war zone, love this community deeply, want to stay. But we talked to a homeowner who's really troubled and torn about whether or not it's still safe to stay here, a home that her grandmother owned and she wants to keep in the family. But let me tell you right now, just set the scene. We are here in the back end of the funeral home. You can see police tape is still up. An awful reminder of what happened for a lot of the folks who are just coming home this evening from work. This is the parking lot where neighbors tell us after the gunfire erupted, lots of folks spilled out into this parking lot looking for safety. And the neighbors who live down in this alley in this neighborhood say the gunfire was so loud it sounded like an explosion. There was fear.
I heard like a cannon, boom, boom, boom.
There was resolve.
We do have to lean in on faith.
And a call for unity.
Our city needs prayer.
The homeowner, the business leader, the community activist, a community torn apart by street violence, now in utter shock after a funeral ends in gunfire.
She was saying it was fireworks. It were people running away from the funeral home. They said it was a lot of kids, just a lot of adults just running into a parking lot.
Police say the family of 24-year-old murder victim Stefan Carroll requested police presence for his service at Stewart's funeral home on Benning Road. But somehow, the shooter still got through the 4 officers on the scene, killing 1 and injuring 3 others.
It definitely feels like a war zone living in this community.
We know the struggles that our community have, but we can't give up in these moments. This is the time to lean in. This is the time to say, okay, we have to have accountability.
We've been hearing a lot about, and a lot of folks from the city, city leaders saying we need more collaboration. This is what we need, but it seems like we haven't gotten there yet.
Well, this is a title-driven city, And if you don't have the right title, your solutions will not be respected.
Community activist Jay Brown says we all need to work together to attack this ongoing violence as he joined hands with the police chief and other city leaders to pray for peace, to pray for solutions. And we end on that powerful picture of the police chief holding hands with other community leaders and activists in this parking lot praying for peace, because so many people tonight are indeed doing that. I just reached out to another community activist who is working with the family who was inside this funeral mourning the loss of their loved one. She says this violence is out of control. Tonight she's asking the community to pray for this family. Leslie, Zoe, back to you.
One of the things that, Delia, you keep hearing and we keep hearing is that no one entity can do this alone, right? The community can't do it alone. The activists can't do it alone. The police can't do it alone. That folks are going to have to really come together to decide that this has to stop. Yeah.
All right, Delia. Thank you.
And you can expect more from WUSA 9 on this shooting and the bank robbery in Arlington. For updates anytime, download the WUSA 9 app. You can stream us for free on WUSA 9 Plus, and it's available for Roku and Fire TV.